checked it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah. Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers, it's Tuesday, and I'm your friendly neighborhood comic book guy. You guys know what's up. Mitch's Picks. Alright. From Aftershock Comics, Mary Shelley, Monster Hunter, #1. Written by Adam Glass and Olivia Quatero Briggs. Art done by Hayden Sherman. Everybody knows the classic story of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. But no one really knows where this 19-year-old girl got this inspiration. This book kind of follows around... this group kind of goes into her resting place, I guess you could say, where the house she died in, and someone finds her old manuscripts, and it actually tells the real story of how she was inspired by Frankenstein. It's not just something from her mind; she actually lived this, so to speak. Story follows around Mary Shelley when she was very, very young, still not even Mary Shelley anymore. She still had her maiden name, and you have a introduction, I guess, up to the new of Frankenstein, the actual scientist, but Frankenstein's not a man, is a woman. And not really too much details are going into, at least for this first issue, about where exactly the story of Frankenstein is going to go. Obviously some type of monster building scenario going on, but not entirely. Everything is just not just revealed just yet. But this is a new ongoing series from Aftershock Comics. Adam Glass did a lot of stuff for Aftershock, so it's going to be good, guys. And the art, never heard of the artist before, Hayden Sherman, but it's got a nice gritty look to it, so it's definitely suitable for this story, guys. Not going to miss this one. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, War of the Realms, War Scrolls, #1. Written by Jason Aaron, Chip Zdarsky, Josh Truvillo, art done by Andrea Sorrentino, Joe Quinones, many different. This is actually a beginning of a miniseries, the longest miniseries, I believe, out of the miniseries that are coming out of War of Realms. I believe this is going to be a 5-parter, but each one's going to kind of have a different... it's going to be a collection of stories, and each one's going to have a little bit of a randomness to it, except for the very beginning of each one of these. Written by Jason Aaron, it's going to basically tell the story of Daredevil and how he actually becomes in possession of Heimdall's power and all of these kind of Asgardian abilities and whatnot. Probably just from picking up Heimdall's sword, but still, I think I said hammer. Whatever, you know what it is. It's a sword, it's a weapon. He uses it a lot. Because there's really not much explanation. Daredevil just kind of shows up with Asgardian powers and no one really explains it. But these War Scrolls are going to help explain it. This also has a backup story of the Warriors 3 trying to help evacuate New York City. A story involving Punisher and Wolverine, just doing what the Punisher and Wolverine do best. And there's a little backup story with Howard the Duck that's only like a few pages, but still it's a nice little fun story. They say this is the quintessential reading for the War of the Realms stuff. I think all the stuff is going to be kind of important to a degree, but they say if you're going to read one miniseries, it's definitely going to be this one, guys. So as always, recommend you guys check it out. Check it out. From Boom Studios, Angel, #0, written by Brian Edward Hill, art done by Gleb Melnikov. This is I believe it is either just a one-shot or the beginning of an ongoing series. This takes place, they say it's best to read this after Buffy 4, which also comes out today as well. This is Angel's origin story, and also not just the origin story as how he became a vampire, but also the time that he spent in Los Angeles before he met Buffy. In Sunnydale, I believe is what the city's called. This is just like I said, just kind of a 32-page quick story of everything. Not really need to know too much about it because it kind of explains everything in here. I'd like to see more come out of this, but as of right now, I think this is the only thing they're going to be doing. Hopefully there is going to be an ongoing series coming out for this, guys. But like I said, this does tie into the Buffy story right now. I'm sure if there's enough interest, they might actually go on with something else from this, so we'll have to see, guys. But if you're a fan of the Buffy stuff, I highly recommend picking this up, guys. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Star Wars, TIE Fighter, #1, written by Jody Hauser, art done by Rogue Antonio and Michael Dowling. This is a story, a miniseries coming out of Star Wars. This book takes place shortly after Empire Strikes Back. Actually, I think it takes place shortly after the Battle of Hoth, so somewhere in the middle of Empire Strikes Back. Squadron 5, also known as Shadow Wing, is the best squadron of TIE fighters that the Empire has to offer, or at least one of the best. They basically go around quelling rebel uprisings, getting rid of those rebel scum that are just threatening peace for the galaxy and whatnot. And they're very good at their job as well. But unfortunately, I guess the Empire has other plans for them and has them on an escort mission. Now, most of the people of the squadron don't really want to do an escort mission because it sounds pretty lame and boring, but they come to find out they're escorting a very valuable Death Star who is warp drive doesn't work, hence why they need to have the escort on this one. Not too much is revealed in this book, a lot of world building, and it goes over the 5 different pilots in this, kind of giving you a little bit of a personality of each one. But this makes me remember there's a little TIE Fighter short, anime short they put out like forever ago. It was like 12 minutes long. It reminds me a lot of this book, or this book reminds me a lot of that short, just focusing more so on the TIE Fighters, less of the Empire. Like I said, this is going to be a mini-series coming out. Jody Houser, who's done quite a few other Star Wars books for the Marvel series. So if you're a fan of the Empire, if you're just a fan of Star Wars, guys, I highly recommend to pick this one up. Check it out. From Marvel Comics, Dark Avengers, the complete series, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art done by Mike Deodato Jr. This story takes place shortly after Secret Invasion, pretty much right after Secret Invasion. Norman Osborn has taken control of S.H.I.E.L.D., changed the name to Hammer. There's not really a meaning for that. He just thought it sounded cool. And he's building his own Avengers. He doesn't call them the Dark Avengers, but you might as well, because it's basically a bunch of reformed criminals taking on the roles of heroes, such as Wolverine's son, the psychopath Daken, takes place as Wolverine. The criminal Moonstone takes place as Miss Marvel. Matt Gargan, who had the Venom symbiote at the time, he becomes the new Spider-Man. Just basically a bunch of bad guys trying to play heroes and whatnot. All while Norman, the crazy man, he's still trying to fight the Goblin Serum, but also trying to be the S.H.I.E.L.D., director of S.H.I.E.L.D. that everyone needs and loves and whatnot. This is 1 through 16, excluding 7 and 8. Those are part of this Exodus story with the Uncanny X-Men. But this is pretty much the very beginning of all the good stuff of the Dark Avengers, which will lead us into Siege, and then, of course, into Fear itself. This is one of my favorite stories by Brian Michael Bendis. But if you have even just an inkling of interest in the bad guys trying to be good guys, I highly recommend this guy, so definitely want to pick this up. Check it out. Don't forget, in 2 weeks, on Friday, we will be doing a screening of the Broly movie here. It starts after we close. It's free to show up if you guys want to. We will be selling in drinks. Might have some popcorn again. We're not really sure about that just yet, but drinks for sure will be here on sale. Also, the day after that, Saturday, we will be doing a Mortal Kombat 11 tournament. It starts at 5. It's free to come in. So you guys just show up, have fun, play the new game, look at all the cool fatalities and whatnot. It's gonna be awesome, guys. And then 1 week after that, we will be doing our free comic book day. We're gonna have lots of sales and everything. I know right now we're gonna be doing 30% off all of our trades, but we're pretty much gonna have a store-wide sale for the most part, just varying degrees of percentages off and whatnot. Plus we'll have a costume contest going on that day. Just a lot of stuff going on, guys. Check our Facebook for any details and updates to come here shortly. But that's all my picks for this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.
Mitch Picks.